Not meaning to brag, but my videos are awesome and very rarely contain mistakes. Well, I don't really get the big things wrong. The stuff I get wrong tends to be small throwaway stuff that isn't particularly important, and so I don't bother double checking it. And sometimes there's no footage that is suitable for the stuff that I'm talking about, so I'll just throw in some filler footage and somebody will point out that that filler footage isn't relevant. So that's the sort of stuff that people point out in my videos. But in my recent one where I covered the Cache remake, it seems as though I got everything wrong about it. First of all, I ridiculed the terrorists for bringing a grappling hook that they didn't need to use since there's a ladder right here. But it's been brought to my attention that they probably used this to lug their weapons and stuff up separately to make the climb easier. So maybe they did use this after all. I pointed out that it was still appearing to rain undercover here, but this could have been intentional because maybe there's just a huge amount of dripping coming from the roof above from a very recent shower. Though I do feel that the distribution of these splashes is too random for that to happen, because normally you'd expect it to be concentrated in one place if it's dropping off something above. As a real world example, just check out this bit from Train. But get this, FMPone has now updated it so that it's no longer raining here. So I was right. But it's still raining in the Child's Play area. FMPone, please fix. I've also been told that the lighting isn't suitable for this skybox. At first I couldn't quite see what they meant, but then, look at this. The shadows don't line up with the sun's position in the sky. I would expect this sort of shoddiness from a Valve-made map, but not one of FMPone's. Please fix! And also make the plants look stronger while you're at it, because they currently look too weak. I pointed out how pretty Bee Halls looks now, because some of you think it's ugly and that these blue glow sticks are pointless. And one person on Reddit has repeatedly pointed out how noisy and distracting this entire map looks now. Problem was, everybody else was too distracted by the fact that his Windows wasn't activated, and it derailed the entire conversation into an argument into Windows activation. I caught a stray too. Some of you actually think the older versions of the map look better, and I think it boils down to how pleasing a map is to look at versus how readable its environments are. There's no way to please everybody, and pro players and casual players and the mapper himself will all have different preferences on what the ideal trade-off is. FMPone tends to release a map and then adjusts accordingly, a bit like how the old version lost its greenery after the game got custom character models, some of whom were very easily disguised against certain parts of the old Cache map. So I imagine a lot of thought has gone into this new version of the map, and that he'd be more than happy to explain his reasoning if somebody asked him. I thought the fiery barrels casting shadows of people hidden in these spots was kind of cool, but some of you just think this is a gimmicky mechanic. Apparently, the letter B used to represent bomb site B and to point people towards bomb site B is wrong for this reason that I'm not going to bother reading out. But if I had to be super critical about it, I'd annoy FMPone by complaining that it looks like it's saying bomb site 13. Some of you don't refer to this place as hell, instead preferring to call it tree, although I don't know how it got that name. But the reason some people call it hell is because it's just down from heaven, which is also known as rafters. Although again, I'm not sure how it got that name. Oh, and I said that this was a door leading to nowhere and thought this was a mistake. But if you can read this writing, you'd know it's actually an electric installation cabinet thingy. And so it wouldn't lead to anywhere. So I'm sorry FMPone, my mistake, not yours. Although if I wanted to be stubborn, I'd say that this is just useful life advice, and may not be anything to do with what's behind the door. So in my original video, I didn't say that the door on A was breakable. I would call that an omission, but apparently it's a mistake. So yeah, just know that this door is now breakable and it wasn't in the older version. Sorry. I said how you could toss grenades through the high windows from A main to A long, but failed to mention that you can also toss them back the other way from A long to A main. And also from A main into bomb site A. There are windows up here as well. I assumed this barrel in the corner was to nerf a potential camping spot, but it could be used for other things as well. For instance, the boost from this side has been made ever so slightly higher now so that you actually have to boost from on top of the oil drum to get over this side, which will make it a lot more fiddly for CTs to do super fast surprise mid-rushes. It will be a lot more predictable where their head will pop up over this wall now as well, and so on. I mean, you know, you use this however you like. Don't let me limit your creativity. Sponsor block watch! On top of just questionably changing the title of the video to something that doesn't seem any less clickbaity, people have added 2 sections of this video to sponsor block. The first is a highlight, rather predictably, for this cover outside the map here. FMPone, please fix. And the second is labelled as a tangent, which is this bit. In my opinion, that's one of the best bits of the video. So what can I say? Just uninstall sponsor block, doesn't do anything to help. And smash that subscribe button and check out my merch and keep watching this video. So it's come to my attention that people ask about the music that I use in my videos every video. So Clicks Philip has gone and uploaded a video featuring all of the music that I use in my videos. So just check that out if you want to know what they're called or whatever. Somebody corrected me by saying that this place was Chernobyl. I'm not quite sure what I thought this place was, but then somebody else did state it was Poland, and I think some people think this place is from Call of Duty 4, so kids these days. Apparently me pronouncing S's in that video hurt someone's ears, and lastly, I called this thing a BMP, but I've been corrected by just one or two of you who have informed me that it's another type of vehicle. But don't worry, from now on I'm going to just play it safe and call these things tanks.